DaniLeigh, and let me tell you why. DaniLeigh is in the city of Chicago. I don't know why. Probably got a high school appearance. Who the hell knows? But she was set to do an interview with the morning show, and she requested that I, Kendra G, be removed from the interview because she was uncomfortable talking to me. Girlfriend, this ain't wilding out. You ain't gonna be Simone me. Now your whole interview has been canceled. But I'm trying to figure out, why didn't you want to talk to me in the first place? I actually been on the radio defending your honor. I really felt the way when your baby daddy played you on that infamous IG Live, and I defended you on the radio. Now, shout out to B. Simone, who I know in real life, rock with in real life, but I actually understood why you didn't want to do Wild 'N Out with her. But I'm still trying to figure out, why the hell you ain't want to talk to me? Now, are you nervous? I'm going to ask you the questions that need to be asked. Like, are you still sleeping with your baby daddy after he beat your brother up and played you on the IG Live? And you know what? I probably would have asked you that question because I need to know. Because if you forgave him, that means I need to forgive him. Are you nervous I was going to bring up that whack-ass Yellowbone song? Girlfriend, I don't care. You can make a song about your skin tone and celebrate it. I love being a dark-skinned woman. Ain't no whack-ass song like that going to make me insecure about my complexion. Are you nervous that I was going to ask you, like, how did it feel to be a girlfriend thinking you was better than all the baby mamas just to become a baby mama and get treated worse? And you know what, DaniLeigh? I probably would have asked you all those questions because guess what? That's my job. That's what I do. I ask the questions that the people want to know. Maybe you should focus on your job, be in the studio and make a hit, and we got to talk about your music and not about your personal life. That's not my fault.
Okay, so is it me? Or would I not have done that interview as well? I'm coming on the show to talk about my music. And this is what you want to talk about. And this is what you want to say. And this is how you want to do things. But you don't understand why I don't want to be there? Why I don't want you at the interview? Because it's your job. Your job is supported by artists like her. People don't just listen to you guys to listen to you guys. They listen to you guys because you guys provide content on the people that we look at in entertainment, whether it's actors, artists, music, whatever it is. Like, that is being in media. That is being in radio. Like, I don't know. I just personally thought this was just like proved Danny's point on why she didn't want to do the interview with Kendra. Like, you can't get mad because she didn't want that negative energy. Just because you feel like it's your job, that has nothing to do with how she feels and what she wants in her life and in her presence and in her energy. And on top of that, she's also a public figure. So for me as a journalist, I can't identify with this because all journalists know that in real journalism, there are like questions and things like that someone's team will tell you they're not going to answer. They'll tell you questions that you cannot ask. That, like, you know what I mean? Like, but when for some reason it's turned into people feeling like interviews are now you feeling like you can gossip to me and throw, stuff that you've seen on the internet in my face and what it's just, I just don't like this. Sorry, Kendra, I don't like it.
Was Kendra's response based, like the way she responded, was that based solely on the woman saying that she didn't want to?
Yeah, solely on her team saying that she didn't mind doing the morning radio show or the evening ride home show, but she just didn't want Kendra to be there. I think it was 3 or 4 different hosts, and she just would prefer if Kendra wasn't there because she makes her feel uncomfortable. I don't understand the problem. She's the talent. She's the one coming in to do interviews. She's on a press tour all around the country right now. So I feel like it's more Kendra being in her ego, because why do you care this much? So why do you care that much to need to be in her interview if she didn't want you there?
Other than those 2 females, who else was supposed to be on the show?
Doing the interview, the other people on the morning show. I don't live in Chicago. Who listens to WGCI? I know Charmaine's on WGCI. Shout out to my Howard Boo and Neek. Shout out to them. I do know them. They're awesome.
But it was supposed to be the WGCI, like all of them
all of them that are on. I don't know. I just know the people that are on the morning show. I don't know. There's 3 people total, I think. But let us know in the chat. I don't remember. But
yeah, let me know, because
I don't like that. I don't like that at all, you know? If someone says they don't want to engage in a particular way because of certain reasons, and you just came and proved the reasons why she don't want to engage. I want to talk about my music. I want to talk about my new album. I want to talk about my new tour. And you want to talk about my baby daddy. You want to talk about, you know, this song, like stuff from years and years ago, when I want to talk about what's current. And so to me, she just proved Danny's point. Anyone in the chat that has a problem with it, that's because y'all don't have boundaries. Okay. You don't have to be around people you don't want to be around. You don't have to accept certain energy you don't want to accept. And talk about now the whole interview got canceled. It's kind of like, okay, Kendra, I get it. But what would the station be if artists stopped coming to interview there, period? Like, that's not, you know what I mean? It's like, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think?
So I knew Leon Rogers was on there and Kendra G, but I had to look up who the other person was. It's Kyle. So, you know, I've heard that show a few times, you know, on the way to work or something like that. And I don't know. I guess, you know, it's up to the person being interviewed if they are going to do the interview or not, or if they want to be asked certain questions or not. I would not see an issue if, let's say, we ask somebody to come on this show, and I know that this show is not like as big as that show, but let's say that we ask somebody to come on this show and they were just like, no, I don't feel comfortable for whatever reason. I would just be like, okay. I don't see the reason to be upset. And I think that what you just said about like the response proving the point, you know, was true, because why? That's why I thought maybe they had some other type of, you know, argument or something before this. Or like, I didn't know if this was her response, like her response being like that was based solely on.
It was solely on that. They didn't have any beef. Like she said, they didn't have any beef. She supported her, whatever.
So
I don't know. I just feel like
maybe she could have just said,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Maybe she could have just said, maybe she just should have said she wasn't going to do the interview at all.
Well, I mean, that's what she said. She said if Kendra's going to do the interview, then she's not going to do it.
But
so,
if
because Kendra had an issue with that, then they didn't do the interview at all.
Well,
so here's where I'm confused.
Somebody can't like come to our show and be like, Kayla can't be there.
If someone came to our show and said, yeah, but our show, we are the talent. We're not a radio station where we're interviewing artists. We're throwing concerts for people to hear artists. We're playing artists' music. We're not the radio.
Okay, yeah, I can get that.
We are the talent on our show, and that's totally different. And guests that come in, they come in to add value, but the show is us, and it's always been us. And it started with, well, people coming in and out, whatever. But you know, it's just different. Like when you're in a radio space, at the end of the day, their bread and butter is the viewership, the listenership, the amount of money people will pay to advertise based on that viewership and listenership. So it's I mean, I guess Kendra, people like Kendra that much in Chicago, let me know. Okay. Is Kendra like a local celebrity? Because I didn't know. I knew she was a big journalist. I didn't know if she's like a local celebrity where people like.
I don't know. I know her from the morning show, and I know like in these spaces, like in the group for the show, and you know, in these spaces, people say things, you know, to talk about her. I've never seen like a full episode of her show, but I have heard her in the morning. So, you know,
is that morning show her show, or she just on it?
She's on it,
right? So it's not her show. She has her own show, yes, but that morning show is not her show. She's a co-host, a panelist on that show.
I mean, just business-wise, and I don't know, this is definitely like above my level of business as it relates to like podcasts and radio shows, because obviously like Kendra G has been in, you know, these spaces and doing this for way longer than I have. So like she knows better than I do in terms of many things relating to this. But just looking at it and just thinking about it, like from an outsider's point of view, I think that I would have just said, you know, can we discuss things that are off limits? Would that, you know, be okay? If we can discuss things that are off limits and then we still do the interview, you know, no problem. It's a win-win. The interview still happens, and then she's okay with, she feels comfortable interviewing with Kendra.
Well, if that's something that she felt that people can stick to, because as we've seen over the last like 10 years, journalism's not what it was anymore. You don't even have to study journalism at all to be a journalist and go report on stuff and start talking about stuff. You don't have to have any kind of credentials. So the old times where it could be like, you could only ask certain questions a certain way. That's how it used to be. And now people go on interviews and they say, oh, these are the questions beforehand. And then the interview asks, people get in the interview and people still ask other questions that weren't on the list. That's just how it is now. And that's why people do major media training now, because they have to figure out how to stick and dodge and move some of these questions that they don't want to answer and things they don't want to talk about when I'm here to promote my new movie or my new song or my new album. Y'all want to talk about gossip, y'all want to talk about blogs, y'all want to talk about the shade room. You know what I mean? Instead of what I'm here to promote. And if it's not done properly, it could actually make the person who's the talent look worse than to help them. You know what I mean? So if it's going to be a messy environment, the best thing that you could do is actually not do it and not say anything. But to put yourself in a position for someone to attack you, if Kendra was going to do with her like she just did in that video, I just wouldn't do it either. Like I don't see the purpose of that. Danny's on tour, she's trying to promote her tour.
So here's my question. They said they canceled the interview altogether, right? Because the girl didn't want to be on there with Kendra. So this suggests that her and Kendra must have some history, right?
No, they don't have any history. Kendra is just known for being messy.
Is that how again, I don't know much about her shows, like her other show that she does, the podcast. So is that typically how it goes? Like someone will come on there and a bunch of questions will get asked. Like what is the format? Because the clips that I've seen, like I saw the clip with Jay Prince in it, and I saw one with some lady that had really long
That's
eyelashes.
her personal show though. That's not the morning show that's live on the radio. That's her personal show she does like on her YouTube or her Instagram or Facebook or something.
So that show, which one is the one that you think is messy? Because I don't know.
No, I'm just saying her in general, her style. She's always trying to get to the nitty gritty of like the gossip and the tea and the drama. At least that's what I see from her.
I thought that was called something else.
What?
Getting the truth. Getting it from the horse's mouth.
You know, I get that. You know, I get it. But if you like Bruiser, you have your new R&B album coming out, and we invite you onto our show, and we're like, you know what? You can promote your show, your album here. You know, we're gonna talk about that. But then we're like, wait, before we get into it, what's really going on with, you know, all these other things? I don't know. I just think that all these problems could be avoided if there's a conversation beforehand about what is off limits and what's not.
If people will stick to it, I think most people would agree to that. But people don't stick to it. They get on live and they do different things. So, I mean, that's just is what it is. But shout out to Dr. Umar School in the chat, said everyone out here trying to be Wendy Williams. And I swear that's what it is. Everybody wants to be Wendy now that Wendy is gone. Wendy is the one where you know when you go to Wendy, you go there for gossip. You know that. You go there for shit talking. That's Wendy. That's who Wendy was on the radio. And I think everybody's trying to be Wendy. And so it's just like get to the jugular, you know, instead of like what is most progressive. But I guess, you know, people are like, well, isn't that her job? Isn't that her job? Views, ratings. I get it, but you can't get upset because somebody doesn't want to participate in it. You know what I mean? Even if she said she didn't want to do it and then the interview got canceled, keep it moving. What was the need for you to make this video, Kendra?
Well, it seemed like the girl singled her out, saying she didn't want to do the interview because of this person.
Well, why do you care? Do you think if someone said they didn't want to go on the Wendy Williams show because they don't like how catty she is, Wendy's going to do a whole video about them? She's not.
But I mean, think about it.
If they don't want to.
You asking for a response when you say, I don't want to be on the show because of this person, instead of, hey, look, something came up. I'm not able to make the show. You wanted that
So
person
you
to
feel like
feel
she
it.
should have
When you
finessed out
stated
of
that
it
you didn't
versus
want to be
like,
on this show and this show getting shut down, and you made a statement saying it's because of you wanted that person to feel it like, yeah, motherfucker, your shit just got canceled because I said I didn't want to be on it because of you.
it's not going to affect her
Swallow that.
check though. It's not going to affect her check or her money or anything. It's not going to affect anything.
But it affected her time. And that's more important than anything in the world.
It affected her time not working, so she get mad because somebody wanted her to take the morning off.
Gotta think, Kayla. It affected her time. What did she do? She set up her camera. She put on her makeup. She put on her hair. She put on her audio. She put on the show. She put a video up. She did an upload. How much time you think it took out of her day to do that?
Kendra, that was a
She
lot.
had to go and do research on the girl's brother beating up her baby daddy and all this other shit. She had to get her talking points right.
So that's content. That's what it is. It's just content.
Kendra G felt it. When you respond like that, you can see the passion in her voice. The front.
Yeah, she was clearly pissed. She
was triggered for real. So the person who was it, DaniLeigh? DaniLeigh, she got a W. She said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say I don't want to be on this show because of this motherfucker right here. And how much you want to bet? She probably laughing with her girls like, this bitch going to post a video about me. Oh, excuse my language. This girl going to post a video about me. That goes our background. I think I needed, since I'm going to be on this show, can we change it to like a blue?
Blue?
No, I'm just kidding.
We can change it to like green. That's non-binary.
Colors
change
are
it to green.
Gender neutral.
Gender neutral. No, what was I gonna say? Ambiguous? Not ambiguous. Androgynous.